Welcome back into another video. In today's video, we're going to look at the April 2021 developer update. These are new changes coming to Dead by Daylight, including map reworks and a bunch of killer reworks. There's also going to be some perk updates, and obviously that struggle updates coming into the game as well. How's it going, guys? My name is Schmuckles. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified the next time I post. I also stream on Twitch on Wednesday and Sunday. The link is in the description below. So the killers that are being changed is Freddy, Huntress, Twins, and Demogorgon. All of these changes are coming to the PTB tomorrow, April 13th. It seems very likely that these are coming with the mid-chapter 19.5 patch. I'm going to go over the killer updates first, and then the perks, and then Coldwind. For some time, the Nightmare has stood out from the crowd with a particularly high kill rate, averaging roughly 3 kills per match. With that in mind, we've made some slight tweaks to bring him closer in line with the rest of the roster. We've decreased his movement speed while placing snares to 4 meters per second, and previously there was no speed change. And they've reduced the maximum number of placed snares from 8 to 5, and the maximum number of dream pallets has been reduced from 10 to 7. A handful of add-ons have also received changes. Add-ons which previously reduced action speeds now make various actions louder, repairing generators, grunts of pain, and footsteps. Black Box also brings a brand new effect. When an exit gate is open, it is blocked for sleeping survivors for the next 10 seconds. Alarm clocks also have received some tweaks to make their effects clearer and more rewarding. Using an alarm clock will now fully make you immune to sleep, including sleep caused by a killer hit for 30 seconds. This effect is now shown in the HUD by turning your sleep timer yellow and having it tick down. With these changes, we hope to promote a more strategic use of dream traps rather than placing them constantly during a chase, as well as encouraging survivors to seek out and use alarm clocks. We'll monitor his performance closely and adjust where necessary going forward. I think this is a much needed nerf for Freddy. When they released the kill rates at the end of 2020, he was way ahead of every killer. Next up, we're going to talk about the Demogorgon. Our focus for the Demogorgon is to give more mobility with its portals. We've made the following changes to base portals: increased speed while in a portal, reduced cooldown after exiting a portal, increased undetectable length after exiting a portal, and on top of these changes, we have done a complete pass on the Demogorgon's add-ons to make some of the lesser used ones more appealing. Lifeguard whistle is now as follows: survivors near activated portals are indicated by the killer's instinct without having to charge of the abyss. Rotten pumpkin: when traversing the upside down, the portal you entered is destroyed. Gain an additional 200 blood points for the traversal. The Huntress had 2 add-ons that received a nerf. None of the Huntress's base kit was changed at all. Iridescent head still inflicts dying upon the victim, but it now caps the maximum carried hatches at 1 regardless of the effects of other add-ons. So now a Huntress with 1-hit hatchets will only carry 1 hatchet maximum. The other add-on is Soldier's Putty. This add-on is going to allow the Huntress to move at 4.6 meters per second and have no hatchets. Those are the only 2 changes coming to the Huntress in the coming PTB. Last but not least, we have a smaller set of tweaks for the Twins. Increased cooldown after successfully downing Survivor with Victor from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. Camera control is now immediately restored when taking control of Charlotte. Silencing Cloth increased undetectable duration for 20 seconds upon taking control of Charlotte. Iridescent Pendant increased exposed duration to 30 seconds when a Survivor crushes an idle Victor. Those are all the killer reworks coming to DBD in the next patch. Now we're going to take a look at the perk updates. Small Game will now show the number of remaining totems as tokens on the perk. The detection range is decreased by 5 degrees for each totem cleansed, and Small Game no longer detects killer traps. Small Game is now a specialized totem perk, it sounds like. Perk change is coming to the perk Lucky Break. Lucky Break now hides scratch marks in addition to blood pools to help you lose the killer. To compensate, the total duration has been reduced to 70, 80, and 90 seconds. We have some changes coming to Soul Guard as well. Small change here: Soul Guard now has a cooldown of 30 seconds after activating. Realistically, this won't affect the vast majority of cases. This change is purely to prevent stacking health speeds and Soul Guard from getting out of hand. I have no idea what that means.
What is going on? What the fuck? What the fuck is this, dude? They all have Soul Guard. Fuck off.
There's also changes coming to Open-Handed. We've slotted this update back in for the upcoming PTB. Open-Handed now has an increased effect, 8, 12, 16 meters. but no longer stacks with itself. This makes the perk more appealing on its own without needing to stack it with other survivors in the match. Zanshin's Tactics, a very straightforward change. Zanshin Tactics is now permanently active and also has a larger range. There's changes coming to Borrow Time as well to remove some confusing intricacies with how Borrow Time interacts with some killers and the Oblivious status. We have removed the Terror Radius condition from the perk. To compensate, we have reduced the duration of the Endurance status to 8, 10, and 12 seconds. Since Borrow Time is no longer dependent on the Terror Radius, that is a massive nerf for Freddy. Now Freddy doesn't even counter Borrow Time anymore. That's also going to be a big nerf to any stealth killers who are returning to Hook, like Michael, Ghostface, Pig, and Wraith. BT will now also counter any Insidious killers too, so in my opinion that is a huge BT buff. This PTB also features the newly reworked Object of Obsession. Anytime your aura is revealed to the killer, their aura is revealed to you, and gain a 2, 4, 6% bonus to healing, repairing, and cleansing speed. If you are the Obsession, your aura is revealed to the killer for 3 seconds every 30 seconds. This new version has a few benefits: being able to track the killer, being able to deduce which aura reading perks the killer is using when Object of Obsession activates, being able to attract the killer and then sneak away before the killer can get there. With these changes, we hope to make Object of Obsession a more fun and interactive perk for both sides. There's also balance changes coming to toolboxes and hatches. For toolboxes, the chance to receive a skill check when using a toolbox has been increased. This change makes toolboxes feel more interactive while they're in use, and is totally not because the lead designer had a skill check challenge and got 3 unlucky matches in a row. For the escape hatch, there's another small tweak. We've decreased the time the hatch remains open after a key is used from 30 seconds to 10 seconds. Like before, if the hatch closes naturally, is not kicked shut, the endgame collapse will not start. Please note that this is not the final change keys will be receiving. We'll share more info on the future of keys as soon as we can. For 4.7.0 PTB, we've made some more changes to the HUD, this time focusing on the visibility of the killer's power on the survivor portraits. In this update, we've made improvements to the Doctor's Madness effect, also made it easier to differentiate between different levels of madness, the Nightmare's Dream World effect and Sleep Timer, the Plague's Infection meter, Stock meters, and Ghostface's mark. We've also adjusted the survivor portraits so they no longer obstruct the bottom of the power indicators. And there's also the struggle update. In an ongoing effort to improve accessibility, we changed the way struggling works in the PTB. Rather than needing to mash a button, survivors in their second hook stage will now receive occasional skill checks. The success zones are fairly large as we're not looking to make struggling more difficult/deadly at this time. Missing one of these skill checks will remove a chunk of your struggle meter. If you do not attempt to hit 2 consecutive skill checks, you will be immediately sacrificed. As you receive skill checks, your struggle meter will gradually decrease at the same rate as before. Our goal of this change is to make struggling more accessible to players with repetitive strain injuries while keeping struggling as interactive mechanic. And obviously there's a graphical update coming to Coldwind Farm. They've released some concept art on the upcoming rework and it looks fantastic. Hopefully we can get this new Coldwind Farm map to live servers pretty soon, as well as reactivating Red Forest, and hopefully there's a chapter 20 new map that comes into DBD as well. That's pretty much going to do it for this video. The next video I'm going to post is going to continue the new killer licensing series that we started. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when that comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.